Welcome to the Nerds from Work, your weekly escape into the world of geeks, nerds, and people that can find ridiculously sized shirts at a Salvation Army. I'm Jason Miller, and with me, as always, I've got Josh Tankersley.
What up, everybody?
Naru Igbaje.
What up?
And your boy, rocking the purple Bike Week shirt, Brandon Miller.
Hello.
All right, guys. Yeah, Brandon's shirt is catching me so off guard. It's ridiculous. I love it.
Daytona Beach.
I feel like it would be finding a medium or small Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles shirt.
Maybe.
I think that that's just about as rare as finding a medium Bike Week shirt.
Or a small basketball jersey.
Chicken waffles a thing?
Oh, yeah, dude.
Are you serious, man?
Dude, you live.
There's one in Atlanta, dude.
Well, like he's not from here. Yeah, there's was it Gladys Knight's Chicken and Waffles? Isn't that like the big
Gladys Knight, boy. Yeah, and then there's Roscoe's in Los Angeles. That one's real
That
famous.
doesn't even sound right. Like, wow.
It's actually delicious. I
It's
love
really
chicken
good.
and waffles.
I would imagine it is, or else why
I
the
love
hell
chicken and
would you
waffles.
sell it? I'm just like, chicken waffles. God.
That's good.
Which reminds me, I need a Gladys Knight Chicken and Waffles shirt. That would be tight.
So if you're listening and you want to send Jason a Gladys Knight chicken and waffles shirt,
Yeah.
His
All I
address.
have are-
his address is.
Yeah. That's funny.
Or
all
if you
right,
want to
guys.
arrange a drop, they can arrange a dead drop.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh, you know where we can do a dead drop? If you have a Gladys and Knight Chicken and Waffles shirt, I will pick it up from you and wear it at Dragon Con.
Hell yeah.
Tag me. Go ahead. Tag me at Houdini0333 on Twitter or Instagram. You know what? Just put it on Instagram with a picture of the shirt, and I will find you at Dragon Con. Doesn't matter the size. I'll wear it all day. Don't care.
If
like
you
a
find it
youth
extra small, yeah, that's it.
Bro, if it's extra small, I'll wear it. I will wear that shit.
We're assuming the person is in Atlanta, right? Just
I mean, you can buy it online.
If they're at Dragon Con, yeah.
we just
okay.
we just have to it's so small. We just duct tape it to Jason's chest, so it's just covering the front half of it.
Yeah. Shit, I'll wear a midriff. Get that belly showing, girl.
Don't your moves turn all your shirts into midriffs? Just a question.
Oh, God.
All right,
Totally random thought. Who would win in the fight between these two?
Leo.
Leo?
You can't kill Deadpool.
I said win in a fight. I didn't say kill. There's
Well,
a
in a fight?
Leo.
Okay. Yeah, Leo, because
Leo, based off of badassery. So leading into your action figures, damn, I haven't seen those things since I was
Turtles in a half.
let's just base it off of Naru's age. I haven't played with action figures since Naru was 53. So,
There you
Naru,
go.
what have you been up to this week?
I have been playing with action figures, posting pictures online too. So check it out at the Niger Nerd.
All right, off of his social media post, Tank, what have you been doing this week, dude?
I finally started editing our D&D game with Chris Jackson. Yeah, so that'll be up. Hopefully, that'll be up next week.
Putting some soft power music in the background.
That is one thing I need to do. I need to put some background music in it. But yeah, what's up?
Well, thanks, Brandon, for reminding him what he hadn't done yet. Giving him some more work to do.
I need to go get sound effects every time somebody casts a spell or does an attack. It's just random swing noise. Yeah, it'd be great. It won't get old at all.
Just take that noise you just made. And every time somebody swings on the
I'll just record me going swing.
Yeah, sample that.
just super cheap sound effects. It's just Tank in the background going swing. And
we could actually do that one day. Actually, everybody get on and we just record ourselves doing funny sound effects. And we can use all of that as his sound.
No, not all of us. Just Tank. Just magic spells are.
Yeah. Yeah, fireball.
No,
That's really good.
That was a good one,
That's
actually.
pretty good.
That was great.
That's the advantage of being a percussionist since I was in 6th grade is
That you can put phlegm in your throat.
I can do a lot of beatboxing. I do a lot of really weird stuff with my mouth.
How did that come from being on percussion? That's just being a musician or loving music.
You would think so. But my wife literally she's terrible. When it comes to trying to sing her part. No.
I read that totally different. The direction you went with that, because I'm still hung up on I can do a lot of weird stuff with my mouth. And so my wife, I'm like, where's she going with this? Where's
This
she
is
going
a
with
family
this?
show.
She doesn't
What's a
actually
family
love
show?
gay.
It's a
Yeah.
fucking family show.
Yeah, it's a
Really?
fucking
Watch
family
your
show.
fucking
Right. No, right. Of course it is. So yeah.
What family? What's your family life like?
Yeah. I know. I have an idea. That's actually pretty close.
Especially
Pretty
if
much like the
you
show. There are two of us on here, so
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
true,
man.
actually.
Well, yeah, both you and I train with your dad, so it's like no, I got a pretty good idea. So yeah, that's all. That's I've been.
If you want to get an idea what their family life is like, are they here? Or I don't know where they are. You probably up above. You want to go watch? Oh, this way. You want to go watch Miller Mythology or listen to that, and then you'll get all you need to know.
That's
Too
true.
much, probably.
That is true, actually.
Oh wait, that's right. The recording didn't work. Miller
Yeah, I don't
Mythology.
That's true. That is true as well. So
Which
Brandon and I
also
have
is
to get
a
together.
deeper look
Okay,
into
so-
our family life.
Okay, so here's the thing with Miller Mythology, right? We did the whole episode on Barney, and then we realized it didn't record. Well, here's the thing: when Brandon and I do one, that's it. Like we can not touch it again.
The well of creativity is done.
Yeah,
So we'll never
I
do
usually
Barney.
tell you the Gullah Gullah Frog or Barney, and it just wouldn't have the same effect.
Yeah, it's gotta be on the spot.
It's got to be on
it's-
the spot.
It's so hard to re-record something after you've done it once, like trying to like record the same thing again. It's
You can't be excited about it.
no, it's so hard.
I think our show is like 1,000,000% improv.
Except
Much.
for the IGTV parts. I mean, those are improv-ish because those are solo. But you know what you're gonna say, right?
No, I don't.
Really?
I only did one.
I just talk. Okay. So Tank's been editing. Naru's been playing with his thing.
Action
And,
figure.
Brandon, what have you been doing?
I actually binge watched Attack on Titan.
Really?
The new season?
Season 2. So I watched season 1. I was a huge fan, like whenever that came out 3 years ago or 4 years ago or however long that was now, when I was still in college. And then, yeah, I was one of those people who was like super pissed that there wasn't a season 2. And I just found out this Sunday, I found out that season 2 is online, dubbed. So I was like, Psh, I don't even got to read. Hell yeah, I'm gonna watch it.
Lazy as shit.
I got one. I have one episode left, so that's
Nice.
cool though. It answered like a lot of shit that I. It answered a lot of shit that I wanted to know from season 1, because season 1, basically the whole like plot of the show was a cliffhanger. So you really don't understand what's going on, and it answers some of that, but then it like builds this much larger plot, so you still don't know what the hell's going on. But it's good. I like
I
it.
just had an idea. We got to have either a special show or special episodes where we do stuff I couldn't believe was on Netflix. And everybody watches it and we come and talk about it for like 5-10 minutes.
Yeah.
Just find like the shittiest rated movie we can find.
Just something like I had no idea the Full Metal Alchemist, the live action version was on Netflix. So I'm just
It's
like,
already on Netflix?
it's there, right? I saw it last night. I'm like, oh my god! So I started watching it. I'm like, this okay, cool. Yeah, I'll
Dude,
watch this
I loved that anime. Now, to be fair, I didn't watch Brotherhood, which I heard is a little closer to the manga. I watched the
Brotherhood
original
is
one
really good, except Netflix leaves out the last like 16 episodes or some dumb shit.
of Brotherhood.
Yeah, so I watched
Hold
like
up,
16
live action or the
episodes.
actual?
No.
The
Brotherhood's
actual
the
show.
anime.
I watched like 50 or 60 episodes and then it just ended. And I was like, what the hell is this?
Yes, I'll see. I'll have to see if it's on Hulu or something.
I mean, they might have fixed it now because that was actually a really long time.
I'm
ago.
sorry.
yeah,
I'm
that's
just
all pretty old.
I'm just terrified at the thought of watching 50 episodes of anything. Like,
Dude, you know they're doing a live action Bleach as well.
Yeah, no, the live
I
action
will
Bleach is going to
not-
be tight.
I will not be watching.
Dude,
Yeah.
Of
it-
anything.
There
at all.
hasn't been a live action anime that I was like super hyped on.
I think Bleach is going to be pretty decent, though.
I hope so.
Wait, so has
I hope all
has
these-
anybody even seen a trailer for the one I talked about, the Full Metal Alchemist?
yeah, I saw the trailers.
I saw pictures. I didn't like Full Metal Alchemist anyway. So
Okay.
I liked the
I wouldn't
anime.
watch the live action one if I didn't like the anime.
Yeah.
Brotherhood
You'd be,
is good.
you'd be surprised you might like one over the other, though. Don't you think?
No.
It's not inconceivable.
Well, if you don't like the story,
No.
So what didn't
Princess
you like about
Diaries?
it? I guess.
The entire beginning of the story. So I just didn't.
Awkward silence. It just
Yeah.
didn't resonate.
So let's get into what I've been doing. Oh shit! I think a cat attacked the door or something. I've got Satan's cat. Okay.
Yes, he does.
Whatever. The cat's an asshole. But I think
It
she
is.
was like
The
random.
cat's a cat, is what you're saying.
Yeah, basically. So I've actually been watching a shit ton of martial arts movies on Netflix.
Nice.
Yeah.
There are a lot on there, actually.
I was surprised. There are some good ones and some real shitty ones.
Yeah.
Real shitty.
In
But,
your opinion.
What's up?
In your opinion.
No, like in the world's opinion.
Like in the majority of the
Yeah.
viewers' opinions, yeah.
In world's opinion, unless you sit around saying, I love martial arts, I know everything about them in your sweatpants with your stained fucking wife beater, wearing fucking flip-flops.
Captain
That's up
Sweatpants.
That's oddly specific. Are you talking about yourself?
If he wasn't wearing a martial arts necklace right now, maybe I'd give it to you.
Let's see. Does he have a wife beater on there? Take a look. It's black. I can't tell.
Do you even know what a wife beater looks like? Naru, we are opening so many doors right now.
There's a white.
I don't know.
small white
I gotta admit.
And to be wearing sweatpants, I have to be wearing pants in the first place.
Oh, snap.
there is that.
Whoa, do not pan the camera down. Just keep it up. That's all I'm going to say to that.
Just
leave it
saying,
up.
Naru. Just saying.
Yeah, I'm with you.
So, yeah.
Moving
The
on.
one that I did want to talk about is actually got Jared Leto on it. It's not even really a martial arts movie. I got tricked into thinking it was, but it's called Outsider. Have you guys seen that on your Netflix?
I haven't watched it, but I know what you're talking about.
Our combined
should
look
definitely
of befuddlement tells you right there
So,
what you're talking about.
he's a World War II Marine Corps infantry captain, and he gets captured during World War II. He's a prisoner. Once the war's over, they release him, but they don't let him go back to America. They just release him in Japan. So then he joins the Yakuza because they find him and he like defends the Yakuza. So then he joins the Yakuza and learns like their whole codes and their traditions. And oh, dude, it's nasty.
Dude,
This
yeah.
isn't one of
I
them
love
white savior movies
And-
in Asia, right?
Yeah,
That's why I didn't watch it.
Yeah.
It was basically like the last from
The
what
Last
I
Samurai.
saw.
Or,
Yeah, like I got the vibe of like the Last Samurai, but just not
Yeah.
Which
in that
I
time.
hate because I love The Last Samurai, but it does kind of have that feel to it. But I freaking love that movie.
The Last Samurai was good. It was shitty with Tom Cruise, but
Yeah, like,
I
so
hate
how
Tom
was it
Cruise.
good?
I fucking hate Tom Cruise.
really
um,
I like Tom Cruise.
I fucking hate
Oh
him.
man, did you have
And-
to encourage him? Let's move on because
No, we all know that I hate Tom Cruise.
we know that. That's a
He's military.
sinkhole of conversation right there.
Fuck Tom Cruise.
There we go.
I will never give Tom Cruise a fucking dollar.
So as we were saying,
I wouldn't set him on fire, but I wouldn't piss him out. So it's kind of got that feel to it. But the cool part to me was learning the Yakuza backstories. Like, because I don't know much about the Yakuza. I'm not Japanese.
I know they have
Yeah.
dope body sleeve tattoos.
Dude, in high school,
you're not Japanese.
We had like the
Aren't y'all like the same?
no,
Wow.
that's the most racist thing.
I know, right?
Wow.
Edit that out, dude.
At least I
I could have done so many racist things there, but I didn't. Did you see who took the moral high ground, world? Hello, world. My name is Jason Miller. Moral high ground over Narug Baje.
Oh
when I was in high school and you had like the one day in the computer lab to do your project research or whatever, I obviously didn't do it and I got sidetracked. And of
course.
on,
Rabbit holes.
rabbit holes.
yeah,
Yeah.
I went on a 1.5 hour because we're in like the 4-block system or whatever, so we had like super long classes. I went on the entire class. I just researched the Yakuza and all the different branches and why they branched off and like different family feuds and why they have all these-
wow.
and what
I'm
how
so
you get
interested
in
now.
different branches
That's
and stuff. And then like the end of the class came and I was like, shit. And I just BS my whole thing and I failed horribly.
But you learned some valuable
It wasn't a
information.
history thing.
I've done
Yeah.
that where I did something. I can't remember. And I went to the shooting range and I shot a 6-shooter. And I was like, man, I wonder who did this the best. 2 weeks. I lost 2 fucking weeks researching gunslingers from the Wild West. Like, no joke.
Yeah.
Like 2 fucking weeks, bro.
I think I was like, man, their tattoos are sick. Why do they have them, though? Like, why did they get a tattoo? And I looked at why they got their tattoos and then why it evolved and all this stuff. And I was like, oh, shit. Oh, there's more than just one family? Oh, my God. Oh, it breaks off.
Yeah.
I was tempted to ask the question.
Goes into that, though. They're
I'm
like
not gonna ask it.
families
I'm
in
gonna
the
keep it to myself.
Yakuza. It's so crazy.
Yeah. What's your question, bro?
No, if I do that, we're gonna jump right into one of those rabbit holes.
That's our whole show is based around rabbit holes.
Nah, I'm not gonna
We
do
should
that.
rename it.
We really should. Just
We're
Nerds from
Rabbit Hole
Nerds.
show.
Yeah, rabbit hole show.
Yeah, we used to talk about comic books back in the day.
No.
Well, how about we talk about something else? Let's talk about a little bit of news. Old news, but if you guys were up to date on news, you probably wouldn't need a podcast to tell you what's going on in the world.
Especially a weekly podcast.
Yeah, right?
Did we do this weekly?
A few days ago, some Star Trek news came out that Chris Pine and Chris Hemsworth were both leaving Star Trek, the movie series, in the Kelvin universe.
No, Kelvin's the original series. This is like J.J. Abrams' universe.
Yeah, I thought they were saying that it was the Kelvin.
No,
Whatever.
it's
It's the movie universe. We'll call it the Abrams verse.
Yeah.
So Chris Pine and Chris Hemsworth were leaving Abrams verse because of something about their contracts weren't up to what they wanted. Obviously, I mean, it's fucking Chris Pine and okay. Let me rephrase that. It's Chris Hemsworth.
Which is garbage because Hemsworth was in 5 minutes of the first movie.
Right.
And that was it. And Chris Pine, I mean, I do like Chris Pine, and I think he's a great actor. But, like, as far as, like, stardom, he was in – I mean, he's not even going to – well, I guess he's technically going to be the Wonder Woman sequel, but –
Let's not even really put him on shit because without Captain Kirk, he wouldn't be shit. All right? So he's got other movies, right? He's got, like, This Is War, right, or something like that. Where it was, like, him and
what's his face? It's not Owen Wilson.
Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy. Ooh,
It's him and Tom Hardy that are spies fighting over Reese Witherspoon. Let's be serious. No spies are fighting over Reese Witherspoon. Yourself. So then he's got like a couple other small movies. And there were no real movies to me or to our culture that really just like propelled him more than Star Trek.
Yeah, Star Trek got him Wonder Woman.
Right, exactly. So this it takes me 2 ways. First, we'll talk about Chris Hemsworth because I think that's going to be the easiest one. Do you guys think that Chris Hemsworth has any kind of say, and do you think that it would really matter?
Bro, this whole time you were talking, I was looking up who the fuck Chris Hemsworth was in Star Trek.
Thor.
I know he's Thor, but I was like, who was
he in Star Trek?
He was the Kirk's dad.
Yeah, see, I didn't
the
know.
first 5 minutes.
Yeah, what Jason is saying, I don't think it fucking matters. Like,
Right. Yeah.
Stop having flashbacks. Go forward and don't.
It depends on because again, the conversation that I had with somebody else about this was, why was he going to be in the movie in the first place?
Okay, so
where was the story going to go?
The reason he was going to be in the movie, the quote unquote plot that was leaked was that Chris Pine, that Captain Kirk was going to go back in time to save the entire ship.
That's a terrible idea.
To like save the whole thing from happening. They were going to go back in time, and Chris Hemsworth and Chris Pine were going to be side by side. Because the original, the Kelvin universe, Captain Kirk, like, his father is still around, and his father was a great pilot and, like, you know, was there at his graduation and all that.
His actual inspiration for joining Starfleet.
Right. So the movies kind of, like, threw that all away in the first 5 minutes.
Right.
But, so this was probably going to be a way to merge the two.
Right.
Which I think is garbage anyways.
No, it's not a bad idea. You could make it work.
They could still do it and recast him, and no one, like, 10% of people would know.
Like, Brandon would not have even known.
I'd be like, oh, that's his dad. That's tight. I don't even remember his dad being in the fucking.
Right. So recasting Chris Hemsworth.
I remember him stealing a car.
No, that was Pine.
That wasn't him. That was Pine.
I know that was Pine, but I'm saying that's what I remember, like, of his early.
That's what you remember.
I don't remember the earliest
Right.
I don't remember the dad scene. Like, I remember him stealing a car and then be like, "Oh, you got to go to the military."
Right. Well, to my point, it would have been easy to recast Chris Hemsworth. That would have been pretty easy.
Mm-hmm.
Most people wouldn't have known. It would have only been us nerds talking about like, hey, listen, this happened, this is not right, or it's wrong, or whatever. Yes, whatever. It's the Chris Pine angle I find interesting because, again, we don't know how much was involved and all that kind of stuff. But I would wonder exactly what kind of a pay cut they were asking them to take that made them say no.
Pay cut or just not a pay raise?
So to me, right, there are 3 characters in that series that you cannot cut out. For that series to keep going, you cannot cut out Chris Pine, you cannot cut out Zachary Quinto, and you cannot cut out
Zoe Saldana.
Carl Urban.
Oh, Carl Urban.
Arguably, I would throw Simon Pegg and this character in there, Scotty's character in there as well. But you can tell the story.
I think they could
tell a story around him.
I think they could do a movie without Scotty. My favorite character from that series, hands down, Sulu. Like, hands down.
Oh, yeah, dude. Sulu's dope.
Sulu is a badass motherfucker in that movie.
They made Sulu really cool in these movies. I was actually,
but
I just remember Chekhov's dead.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They could do it without a lot of them. But those 3, Carl Urban, because the fans love Carl Urban's bones.
Dude, it was so good. Especially as old as he is and as young as he played it, so good.
Yeah, he was. His bones was fantastic.
And Zachary Quinto, you cannot get rid of that spot.
Dude, I can't believe for having to come in and fill the role as Spock, he did so good.
He's so good at it. Yeah, Zachary Quinto, he's Spock.
No. Yeah. For the first time.
Chris
what
Pine.
about Uhura?
Zoe Saldana.
I think they could do a movie without her. I don't think that you should ever replace her, but I think they could do it without her.
So she falls in the same category as Simon Pegg's Scotty.
Exactly. And so
you can recast. Yeah.
No, not recast.
recast.
You can tell the story around those characters.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
But there are 3 main characters that you have to have.
Yeah.
And Chris Pine is one of those characters. Like, at this point, you can't just jump in and go, oh, yeah, no, this is Captain Kirk. It's been Captain Kirk the whole time.
So if we make the assumption that so first we can say it's not like he needs the money. So stop bitching about it. You signed up to play these movies. Play your part in the movie. Don't be a little bitch.
Excuse me? What do you mean he doesn't need the money?
Really? Wonder Woman made how much freaking money? There's no way.
How much do you think he got paid to do that? Come on.
Not as much as Gal Gadot, but yeah,
I'd
right?
be fucking Captain Kirk.
Okay, well, let's not do this where you guys try to equate yourself to these guys, because at the end of the day, let's be honest, if somebody else who you consider a peer is making shitload of money, you would feel like, hey, I'm getting short shrift. So you'd want to get the max amount. So I don't think.
Okay, well, so that takes me to my second point. You signed up to be Captain Kirk,
right?
All right. I'm sure. I mean, maybe even if you were told that, like, oh, in 3 movies you're going to be making, $100 million a movie. And you're not making that, and by the 3rd movie, you still sign up to be Captain Kirk. You need to play Captain Kirk and finish playing Captain Kirk. Because if you don't, then it's kind of a garbage move.
Please, did you feel that way about RDJ? He held the entire MCU by the balls for 2 or 3 movie cycles while they were discussing his contract, and then he got the big $50 million payout.
No, okay. So here's the thing, right? As much as I don't like
I'm actually waiting for Tank's response because he's the Trekkie here.
No. So
go ahead, Tank. All right. So the difference with that is the Star Trek universe. I mean, maybe they didn't know what the Marvel universe was going to turn into, but I don't think the Star Trek universe was ever going to be as big as the comic book universe. Even if Marvel, even the DC movies that are arguably good or not good are still bigger than the Star Trek universe. You knew that going into it. So you signed up to play Captain Kirk in the Star Trek movies, play Captain Kirk in the Star Trek movies. It's not like he's not getting paid.
Okay, so here's
that's a fan complaining right there.
Here's my thing, right? We all know Robert Downey Jr. is Iron Man, hands down. I don't like him. I don't like Iron Man. I don't mind Robert Downey Jr. I just don't like Iron Man. Okay, so you look at Robert Downey Jr. He cares about what the fans think. Okay, so he knew he signed up to be fucking Iron Man. He was gonna play that out. He was going to ride it because he had the fans. He didn't have the MCU by the balls. He had the fans by the balls. They all knew him as Iron Man. He was the perfect Iron Man. He played it out for the fans. He did the right thing.
I'm going to rip that argument up to shreds in a few minutes.
No. He did the right thing, okay? Mm-hmm. But then Chris Pine, this move says that he doesn't care about the fans from Star Trek because Star Trek fans are diehard loyalist fans. So many fans that go to see MCU movies are not diehard loyalist fans. My wife went to see both Infinity War and Ant-Man, but she won't watch Star Trek. Okay, Star Trek fans are diehard fans that are going to be
even
all right, hold up. First question for you. Star Trek, the first movie Chris Pine played, came out in 2009.
Yeah.
Iron Man came out in 2008. While they were doing both, because both of them were filming roughly about the same time, I think the Star Trek movie was a little later and came out the following year. But here's the point. At that time, Star Trek was a much bigger commodity by far.
No, it was not.
It was
not.
No, Star Trek was a much bigger known entity.
No, it was
MCU.
not.
There was no MCU.
But Iron Man was a thing. Comic books were a thing.
No, slow
people
down.
like myself and Brandon were waiting for a comic book movie.
Slow down. The movie world. No one knew that was going to work.
Yes, they did.
Another thing. Hold up. Another thing. There's a reason why RDJ had the kind of leverage he did, and that was because they didn't want to sign him to a multi-year contract because they weren't sure they could rely on him just yet. So they signed him up. They took a chance, and it worked out because he knocked it out the park. And then they had to try to get him to sign up. And he's like, yeah, that's
You ready? All right, because I'm about to shut this conversation down. Is everybody ready? Robert Downey Jr. was an alcoholic and a drug addict before he joined the whole Marvel Cinematic Universe. Marvel took a shot on Robert Downey Jr. He didn't have a snowball's chance in hell to do anything else. Nobody was casting Robert Downey Jr. after, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, right? Because he was an alcoholic. He was worthless in Hollywood. He was not getting cast for anything else. He got cast for Iron Man. He rode that Iron Man check to the bank. He stayed loyal to the fans that were loyal to him. I was on Naru's side, but I got to shut him down now because now Robert Downey Jr. is in a level where he wants to leave this Marvel Cinematic Universe, and that's fine because he's done so many movies and he's carried them. I get it.
10 years.
But you cannot. Your argument had nothing to do with Star Trek or
no.
Chris Pine.
My conclusion was going to be, why are you blaming the actors and not blaming the producers? When RDJ began to make his push for more money, the same guys who gave Rhodey short shrift knew they couldn't let go of RDJ, so they ponied up. In this case, the producers playing hardball, and Chris Pine's like, yeah, okay. And as it stands, they haven't officially, quote unquote, walked away because they're still in pre-production. Things are still being negotiated.
They walked away 2 days ago.
It hasn't been announced that they're going to recast or anything that happen. So my point
they haven't recast, but it is official that Chris Pine has walked away.
Because, all I'm saying is nobody's blaming the producers. Everybody wants to pile on these guys. No. I think they have a right to I think Chris Pine in particular has a right to ask for more if he got very little, because we don't even know what he got paid.
Yeah, that's another thing. Everybody's discussion or argument or whatever it is has revolved around him not being paid what other people are, not being paid enough. I assume that the lead role of a movie is getting paid more than the other roles of a movie. Maybe that's me being not knowing enough about the industry.
That didn't happen with RDJ though. RDJ got paid less.
Quit calling him by his initials. He has a name.
Yeah. Also, if you're able to scrape someone up, like if I could go cast Anakin from the prequels for like $10 for a fucking movie and put him at the lead just because he'll be glad to take the lead. I'm just saying, in these types of movies like Star Trek, that they are assuming that's going to make a lot of money. The lead role is probably going to make a lot of fucking money.
Well, again,
Chris Pine makes more money than the only person that would possibly make more than Chris Pine is Zachary Quinto as Spock. That's the only one in that movie that makes more than him.
Agreed.
Again, it depends. I really want to know what he's making. I'm
not saying that I'm 100% against Chris Pine walking away. And now, if they came at him with some stupid ass number and he's like, hey, the money's not there. Like, people are not going to see these movies like you thought they would, blah, 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 whatever. I'm going to need more for this. But I really don't think Chris Pine's in a point in his career path where he can pick and choose like that.
True,
Well,
but who's gonna tell him? Not me.
No, I mean it's fine, but it just shows me that he doesn't care about the fans. Like Tank was. Tank is a
Yeah. Okay,
through and through
I'm
Star
against him
Trek
because
fan.
he's hurt Tank. Like, dude, you mess with Tank, you mess with me. Like, straight up.
And I will give you a real mean lashing on Twitter.
I would definitely need to like weigh what the offer is and everything like that to say that he doesn't care about the fans, because I might be the only selfish bastard that will like say I am on this podcast, but I'm not going to work for a year to 2 years for fucking free for some people that like me.
Sure.
I don't care who they are.
Or for way less than you should get, because check it out. RDJ was paid less than $1 million, I think, for his first movie.
I mean, I would work for some amount of money,
That's what
but like that's what I'm saying.
If we
It
make the assumption that they're offering him enough money, but not as much money that he would make on like a Marvel or a DC film, then
I would say, yeah, sad for the fans. But if they're like,
yeah, I mean, if they're totally trying to like
get
stick
paid
him
as the same as everybody else, even if you're the star of the film, it's like no, fuck that, dude.
Star Trek. I don't think Star Trek will ever, or even at the time would ever make the kind of splash that superhero films
or Star Wars films make.
Or Star Wars,
they're not going to.
And that's unfortunate, but true.
And Chris knew that signing up, or
maybe he didn't.
Exactly, because again, this was supposed to be about a reboot. They had J.J. Abrams. He brought it in. He was supposed to knock it out the park. And the first movie did pretty good. It was the sequel with Justin Lin.
The second movie is better to me.
It's
but
better
the third one
artistically, but it made less money.
Yeah, it made less money. They've been going downhill since the first.
The second one was garbage. The third one was good. Not
the
garbage.
Third one was
I just hated the story for the second one.
See, but that's because you're an original Trekkie.
There you go.
Why? Well, they freaking retread. Why retread? You have this whole new universe, and you give us time.
Yeah. Okay. Off Star Trek, or we'll never hit the main topic, ever.
I will talk Star Trek all night. In fact, I have Star Trek post. Nope, outside. I have Star Trek.
That's Star Wars, bro.
Star Wars.
No, hang on. Where's fucking? My camera's backwards. There we go. Star Trek. I have.
Okay, we're not going through that. So main topic, which is also going to be a fucking rabbit hole. Brandon just walked out. He's like,
"Fuck it, I'm done. You guys aren't paying me enough. I'm done." Recast.
All right,
like for real.
But this ties right into what we were doing. Thank God. So this ties into what we were just talking about,
which was
especially in
how fandom is changing and shaping our culture. And all of our media that's coming out. Bro, if I didn't have to walk, I'd go get another one too.
Oh, so mine's all the way upstairs. It's not happening.
Yeah, I can't.
I got a big one.
Sorry about it.
So how fandom and social media are shaping our culture. So my examples. Batwoman was just cast for the Arrowverse, right? So they're gonna have Batwoman.
She's playing the Arrowverse? Oh, I totally
don't they call it the Flareverse?
Yeah, Flareverse, but I don't like the Flash, so it's Arrowverse.
Not about you, man.
It is Ruby Rose.
She's so good too.
She's a good actress, but it came out.
Is she?
And once it came out, she immediately got backlash.
Which I thought was weird.
Yeah. Like tons of backlash
because
to the point
she
where
looks perfect for the role.
Well, no, to the point where she deleted her Twitter account.
Yes.
Wow.
She got so much hate. For getting a role. Well, the reasons she was catching flack was because she was not Jewish, and Batwoman is Jewish. She was not out enough.
Lesbian enough.
She was not lesbian enough. And her immediate response to that was that she's been out since she was 12 years old.
Yeah. Every role she plays is.
Yeah. So
sexually ambiguous,
so
right?
Yeah. For her sexual orientation and not being Jewish enough and a whole bunch of other things, to the point she deleted her Twitter account. Right. Yeah, and if you guys listened to Breaking the Panel last week, they talked about it, and I really don't want to beat that dead horse, okay? But that deleted this actress's social media account. Now, going into the media and fandom and social, all of these circles, Hit Girl just got announced for a 4-part miniseries.
Oh, really?
Written by, oh God, what's his name?
Kevin Smith.
Kevin Smith. Kevin Smith.
Oh,
is-
yeah.
Me coming through with the name.
Yeah.
That's the first.
Brandon with the assist.
Good job, Brandon. We're proud.
So Hit Girl has a 4-part miniseries by Kevin Smith, and immediately everyone, and it's called Hit Girl goes. No, I'm sorry. Hit Girl Golden Hollywood.
It's not. So I read this article.
Okay, go ahead, Brandon. Go
Oh,
ahead.
shit.
Yeah, so it got a bunch of backlash because it came out with supposedly this title or whatever, and then someone else heard this title and they're like, "Oh, it's Hit Girl versus Predators of Hollywood," basically, like male predators, and that's what's going to happen. And so that it got a lot of backlash. You can't do that. That's a sensitive subject and all this stuff. And then Kevin Smith was like, "That's not what it's about. I never even talked to that guy. He just like said what he thinks it's going to be about, and everybody assumed that this is what it's about."
Yeah,
It's not that.
because Kevin Smith is a funny dude. Like he really is. They immediately started hating on Kevin Smith, saying, "Oh, you can't make fun of the Me Too movement." Blah 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 blah. And Kevin Smith was like, "What the fuck are you talking about? Like, I never said that."
So if we keep this in the fandom realm and not get into the just general like media outlet that is America, like another example is the Tran girl from Star Wars who had to delete her account because she got so much flack from playing in the Star Wars movie.
Right.
Same thing, and it's people like
it goes back even further than that. I mean, John Boyega got cast as a black stormtrooper racing flag back in the day as well,
which was retarded because no one even knew the story.
Or there are races underneath. I mean,
Too,
like these guys have helmets. He takes his off. He's black.
Well, partly because and maybe it's because I get it from a different angle, and that's why we have a bunch of different that's why we have different people on the podcast. People were mad because they're like, "Oh, they're all clone troopers. How is a clone trooper black?" And I was like, "Well, if you watch the movie, you wait for the movie to come out, he's not a clone trooper. That's why he's black."
Right.
But it's just like especially fandoms need diehard fans. But diehard fans need to chill the fuck out sometimes. It's like, calm down. It'll be okay. Yeah, it's not exactly like it is, on the piece of paper, but you also don't have words coming in the air that says blam and pow when they hit the bad guys. So it'll be okay.
And it's beyond that, because it's also a side effect of social media empowering people to feel like they have a voice. And sometimes you have these loud, small groups of people with a sense of ownership of a character.
Right.
And entitlement, and they just get all out there, and really obnoxious people.
And what's sad is that 4% that are really obnoxious are the ones that get seen, and that's with everything in
that's everywhere. I mean, that's politics. That's everything, right? But the main thing here is that people are pushing so hard. And it's not just, it's not like this in the books, or, the Harry Potter book didn't do this and it was in the movie, or blah, blah, blah. It's not just to movie transitions. It's to comics. It's to everything. And it's to what Naru was saying, is that people with this social media, they have an ownership of this character, right? Mm-hmm. And that's great. Like, please keep that. Like, I love John Wick. Everybody knows that. I don't like these comics. I actually hate them. But I keep buying them, and I don't give them any slack for it, because it's them promoting something that I love. It's pushing that just a little bit further. Everyone should be excited, right? Not try and give hate. So on the Batwoman thing, right? Be excited that you're even getting a lesbian superhero. We don't even have any of those right now in the DC EU or the MCU that we know of right now. I will say that. There are some in Legends of Tomorrow, I believe, and the Supergirl series.
Oh, yeah. Supergirl's definitely pushing that.
You're getting representation for the LGBT 78385. I don't know, whatever they use, right?
LGBTQ TIA.
See, there's all what TIA?
Yeah.
IA?
Anyways, that
interplanetary animals. I don't know.
Not
Whatever.
trying to hate. It's just a lot.
not trying to throw hate on anybody, right? But be proud that you're getting that, because 20 years ago you didn't. Okay, and then it's like, oh, she's not Jewish enough.
That one really threw me.
Really?
Because I'm like, okay, I get it. Representation matters. But I think we're past the point where you can say Jewish people haven't felt represented on the screen.
Well, not just that. Look at someone and tell me their religion.
Thank you. It's a totally different thing when you're dealing with like color or facial looks or, those kinds of aesthetics. Right. But your faith is something on the inside.
If they wrote the script, right, and Batwoman is religious, right? She's Jewish. That's what she is. If they wrote it and she was Muslim, okay, now be angry.
Gotcha.
Right? In the series, okay, now I've got to stop. I've got to pray 5 times a day. Okay, now be angry. But don't be angry once they've cast someone and you just assume that she's not Jewish. You assume all of these things and that they're going to terrorize your character.
Plus, an actor should be given the chance to play something they're not, within limits, of course. Like, okay, a person who's not a Muslim can play a Muslim on screen. A person who's a Muslim can play a non-Muslim on screen. Because Islam and all that is not about your race, but something that has to do with your philosophies, the way you think, your religion, your outlook on life, even stuff that can't be seen visually, like your sexuality. One person can play another type.
Right, an actor can play. Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing, right? I think it was actually Scarlett Johansson in another movie or something. Maybe I'm getting it wrong and just saying that all these, like, she's everybody, but in some movie she or some other female actress that's a straight female actress played a lesbian in a movie, and there was a huge backlash of like, oh, they should have cast a lesbian for this character. And it's like, okay, and it's the same thing. I think it happened in a male situation too, where it was a straight guy and he got cast as a gay guy, and they were like, oh, this shouldn't happen. You shouldn't do that. You should have casted someone but in this instance, they said in casting, they said, we don't care your race. We don't care. We just want to make sure that you are a lesbian actress and you are the best actress for this role. And everybody was hyped on that. And then they did that, and then people aren't hyped on it.
Well,
she's not lesbian enough.
That's what confuses me. It's like they literally went out of their way to say, this is what we are doing because we care about this community and we want to show that we care about this community.
And then you still get mad.
Yeah, and then someone gets mad. I don't know who's mad,
right.
But whoever is loudest on Twitter or whatever is mad about it.
Oh,
and then
good point.
It causes her to like quit all of social media and stuff. And she's a great actress. Like Orange is the New Black is the shit. And she killed
John Wick too.
Yeah, John Wick too. She kills it in everything she's in. Like her character in every movie is just a badass.
Yeah.
And it's like, why would you shame somebody who's just a great actor? Like, why would you do that? Yeah, that's what I'm more upset about, is that they tried. Like, it's not like they specifically went public saying that we are doing this, and people were hyped on it. Like, if you were upset about it at the beginning, then say like, they also need to be Jewish. They need to be.
You've touched on something I think is really important as well. And that is the echo chamber that's just amplified by different kinds of media. Like Twitter has that thing called moments, and they'll be like, fan outrage over this. And the way you check, it's like one person with 8 retweets, and then another 5 people with, I'm like, really? There's like total, if you add everybody plus likes plus retweets, 100 people on the whole internet were upset about this, and it becomes a moment with some cool worded tweet. And then some blog picks it up and then makes it a story.
That's all media.
And then boom, it becomes a thing, which is not a thing.
That's what caused, or not what, I mean, there are underlying things that caused, but what the initial movement that caused the collapse of like American money, basically, back in whatever year that was, 2008? Whatever.
2008.
Yeah, 2008 was literally a dude on the news was like, I think the stock in this is going to go down based on nothing. Everybody sold out. It fucking crashed. When it crashed, they realized they couldn't back themselves up with gold, and then they said, "Oh shit, everything's based on plastic." But it
blue ink,
started
not
from
steel.
it started by one person saying something, and then people are like, "Oh, that's what we call now. That's clickbait."
Yeah.
Let me fucking put it on my stuff so that way people.
No one.
To quote the Flash, that sounds like an oversimplification, but yeah.
So
I mean, it can be an oversimplification, but majority of the time people don't look at the
but
simple.
that's what
try to
clickbait is.
No, I'm agreeing with him. I just thought it was a cool place to quote the Flash.
So to get back to the theory, right? Like the main theory is that fandom will ultimately be the downfall of everything, of this whole culture that we have. If we keep going the same way, we're going to be our own demise.
So
if we don't watch what we're doing.
I think it's a better way to say that the minority is going to be our downfall, because take for as a kind of a as a small sample size, the James Gunn thing, right? There's a minority of people that were like got really pissed because he has these 10-year-old tweets, when the vast majority of people were like, no, whatever, it's 10 years old, he's apologized. Even the actors like, whatever. But the fact that like the minority is what's getting all of the the attention, the same idea.
Because it's different.
It's the same.
It's
right. It's the same idea of like people say don't release like anytime there's like a mass shooting or something, don't release the guy's picture and name, right? Don't give him the screen time, right? It's if we take the vast majority of people and stop listening to the 3%, and actually see like, oh, if the majority of people who are in this fandom are fine with it, but those people don't get news flashes.
So, and it's not just that, right? So it's like what Brandon said, where one person says something and then it just multiplies like a virus. So because of Twitter and moments on Twitter, right? So if I went on right now to say like, oh, Brandon is XYZ, well, then you guys have no relation to whatever we do, right? Like, let's say Brandon's in a comic book movie. You hate comic books, Tank, but you see it and you know Brandon from somewhere, and then immediately you retweet it. And you say, I can't believe he would do this. And then it just grows and manifests until Brandon is so, far gone where he's like, thousands and thousands of people hate me, and I haven't even done anything. But it's all because of one person, and I said something.
Right.
So it had his name tagged to it or whatever. Well, but people are complaining and arguing and fighting when they just need to take a step back and look at it and go, okay, what are we fighting about right now? We're fighting that we're getting Batwoman instead of Batgirl? Because they could have easily just said, oh, we'll do Batgirl. There's no backlash. Let's just find someone and have Batgirl. No backlash. Batwoman is the harder choice, in my opinion, to cast because you have to fill all these things, and they tried. And then
fandom's like a spoiled kid.
Yes.
Bottom line.
I absolutely.
They're an only child.
Yeah, exactly. Even better. Even better.
I've had that happen where my daughter wanted something and I made it. She's like, it's not cold enough. I'm like, really though? Like it's really? Okay. Then you add some ice to it and it's like, nah, it's too cold.
See, I mess with my wife all the time. You can either tell me what you want or you can tell me how to do it. You don't get to tell me both.
Oh yeah, I need that T-shirt.
Get your ass
every husband, write that down.
Hold on to it. If you get divorced, it's not my fault. But it's the old adage, right? You can't have your cake and eat it too. Like,
right?
Go out, like Jason said, you're getting a Batwoman. Like, fucking be happy that we're getting a Batwoman who is being played by a lesbian actress who happens to be a badass fucking actress too. So,
who's a really good Jewish lesbian?
Adam Sandler.
I don't remember all the things.
Dude, after Happy Gilmore, after Mr. Deeds, I can't watch his stuff.
Jack and Jill, he played a lady.
I mean, realistically though,
I don't know enough.
If you come back and you say, I can't believe you did this, you should have got this person, or you should have done more Jewish, do they have some, don't just come at me with a million fucking problems. Come at me with an answer.
Oh, you can be sure. You can be sure the fandom had some people. They had their favorites. Trust.
Yeah, and they were also mad that she was either too big or too small for that role.
Well, Hugh Jackman was playing Wolverine. Hugh
No,
Jackman's
no. I'm not saying like tall or short. I'm saying popular or not popular enough for that role.
Okay, Gal Gadot playing Wonder Woman.
Exactly.
And she fucking smashed that role. So
Well, also it's the CW Arrowverse. Like, who are any of those people?
I mean,
Like, she's the most, in my eyes, because I
Yeah.
don't know any of them. Like,
Right.
she's the most famous person and probably the best actor going into a start of one of those types of shows.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know anybody.
Stephen Amell is great. I'd never heard of him before Arrow.
no.
Dude, I can't watch the first like season of any of those shows. It's just very cool acting to me.
So
Okay,
And I tell Jason all the time when he was like, dude, watch Arrow. I'm like, dude, I can't fucking get through it. I'm sorry. Like, I know it's
so bad
in the story and stuff, but like, I'm just looking at it and I'm like, what? Like you're mad, but you're talking the exact same as when you were like super happy. Like, I can't read your face. It's not good acting.
I just
And I'm
found
not a
somebody
good
else's dream casting for the role of Batwoman. It was what's her name? Evan Rachel Wood.
I don't know who that is.
How Jewish is she?
Yeah, apparently she described herself as Jewish in 2003, and also
It looks like Ruby Rose.
I don't know, man.
She looks like a tattooed Ruby Rose.
and I would like Batwoman to be tatted. So
Hell yeah,
why?
because it's dope.
because that's badass,
Dude.
bro.
You know who would be sick?
How does
as
that help the
Batwoman,
character?
though? Which is like
Because she's
way
badass.
outside of what they were trying to cast. I don't know because I really don't know this actress. But the actress who played Domino,
Ooh,
badass.
Zazie
dude.
Beats.
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
dude. She would.
there's
Kill.
one right there.
Do you
I don't know
know
if
the
she-
conversation you'd start off with her being black?
No.
I don't. I'm just saying
Domino
opposite of what everybody.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Domino in the comic is Asian.
Yeah, that's true.
So the ancient one.
Deadpool, she's black.
the
Oh wait,
ancient-
I missed what
And
he
we're
said.
all super
I thought he
happy.
was saying she would have been a great casting for the role of
I did.
Batwoman.
He did.
I did say that.
He did.
She would kill it.
It
Oh,
never
yeah.
happened though.
Oh yeah.
Well, no, it wouldn't
Domino
happen.
is
The
badass.
fandom would
It
destroy
never
it. But
happened.
like me, I would be like, yeah. But I'm also like, I want Idris Elba as freaking 007.
Hell yeah, I am down.
And everybody else like,
No.
no, you can't do that. There
I'm
was
down.
someone at work talking about
I'm
that. the
not.
other day. Oh,
I'm
a
not.
black person is 007, and I'm like, it's fucking numbers.
It's a moniker.
No,
right?
yeah.
I
007
am-
does not have to be James Bond.
I'll tell you.
007 is the moniker.
Yeah.
People need to just put your big girl panties on. Stop bitching. Be happy that you're getting the character at all.
Grow up.
Stop whining. The anonymity of the internet is toxic.
Yeah.
So, moral of the story is the majority of people are happy about things, but if you're the minority, think before you speak.
Let's say have your opinion.
No,
Yeah.
but think before you speak.
Right.
Like, if we have an opinion, right, that's fine if we put it on our own personal Twitter, our own personal Instagram, and we don't tag. Like, I wouldn't tag at bmiller425. Fuck you. You're the worst Green Arrow I've ever seen. Blah, 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 blah. It would just be like, man, I can't believe they really cast this guy for a Green Arrow. Okay,
Right.
that enough said.
Right.
Right. But when you start tagging his name to draw attention to yourself, you're trying to get attention and you're trying to create some shit.
And you're being obnoxious.
Words,
Yep.
Don't start no shit, won't be no shit.
You know shit.
So stop ruining fucking fandom. Be happy of what you got, because if you keep bitching about it, all the actors will start to refuse to take these roles because the fans are too fucking crazy. And then the whole fucking thing's going to fall apart and we're going to go back to movies of fucking notebooks and boats and shit.
Well, that's
Hose.
yeah. I got two things on this for my final whatever. There's part of it. It's like, oh, we're trying to find this person for Batwoman. Another thing is like these people that are like, why didn't you cast so and so? Why didn't you cast so and so? That fucking person probably didn't even want to be in this role. Like they probably didn't. Their agent was like, you know what? Don't do this. The CW, shows are not your thing, you probably don't even want to do this.
Oh,
You
that's
can't
Marvel.
fucking go out and cherry pick one person out of the world and be like, oh, that's the perfect person. They're definitely going to be in this role. That's not how shit works. Like, you can't just grab anybody off the street and say, come be on the CW. I know you're trying to be a movie star, but fuck it. Like, that's not how it works.
Yeah.
So people also need to like take that into consideration. Oh, I got these 3 people that are way better. You should have chose one of them. It's like,
They probably
out of
did.
everybody, they might have reached out to those people and they're like, fuck off.
Yeah. I like Marvel. I'm not doing CW. No.
Yeah. Or like, no, I want to, like, more realistically, like, oh no, I'm aspiring more towards movie roles instead of television roles.
Or
I want
I'm
less
busy.
work, so I want to.
I'm acting right now.
Yeah, I'm booked.
Yeah.
I got enough money. I got enough.
All right, guys. That's going to wrap it up for this week. That was the long one. That had some heated discussions about Star Trek and other shit. So
People are going to hate us after this episode.
yeah.
No more than after our Teen Titans episode.
Yeah, no, that
Ooh,
one's
yeah.
the only one that got real hate. So maybe this one will get some real hate. Fuck it.
Hey, I'm down. Let's go.
All right,
Comment.
Tank,
Talk
tell
to
them
us.
where they can. Tank, tell them where they can find you.
Yo, you guys can find me all over the internet at the Caped Critic. Keep on our channel next week. Our D&D adventures are the first episode of our D&D adventure is gonna drop, and then the Sunday
Live.
Yeah,
Swing.
no, it's not live.
We're not doing it live?
No, we're not doing it live
We
Why
already
aren't we doing it
played.
live?
because I'm editing it
No,
now.
we played like
No. Dragon Con.
Oh, I said Dungeons and Dragons. I hadn't made it to Dragon Con yet.
Oh. Spoiler alert, Dragon Con.
Sunday, the 2nd, we're going to be at Dragon Con, 11:30 p.m., Galleria 6 at the Hilton.
Hilton.
Okay,
Yes.
I can never remember which. The Hilton. And yes, that one will be live.
Look, guys, it's Sunday at 11:30, and I know that everyone's like, "Oh, damn, what a shitty time! I'm not gonna stay up and watch the Nerds from Work." What the fuck you doing anyway? You guys need to stay up, drink some beers, hit us with comments.
Everybody's off on Monday, so
Yeah.
stay up and
Everyone
watch.
goes to work on Monday, so hit us with comments. We are gonna have it live,
Yes.
live feed on the table, so we will be reading comments live from YouTube.
At a minimum, yeah, we'll be streaming live to YouTube. If we can figure it out, maybe we'll try and get it live to Facebook as well. We'll more to come on that later. Just keep on all our social medias that Jason's going to give you at the end, and we'll keep you up to date.
Also, you can find Tank at the Caped Critic all over the internet.
I said that first. I opened with that, but thanks.
Did you?
I did. Yeah.
Double
You're just
checking.
not listening.
Double
to
checking.
Jason.
Yeah.
Dude, tell them where they can find you.
You can find me at the Niger Nerd all over the internet. Keep it simple.
Dope.
So weird when you find the Niger Nerd on certain websites. Brandon, tell them about those websites.
Speaking of those websites.
Yeah, you can find me on Coffee Meets Bagel at Miller425. I got a great profile. I have a hat on in every single one of my pictures, so you might not recognize me.
I can just see Brandon taking like 2 hours one day and like actually creating these accounts on all these websites.
Like, all right, well,
That's
Coffee
way
Meets
longer than
Bagel.
2
Hello. Hello.
That's a thing. That's a thing.
It actually is a thing. I thought he was kidding.
That's a thing.
There's a Coffee Meets Bagel free dating app. I don't believe this.
That's so awesome.
Y'all thought I was bullshitting
What
this whole
the
time.
fuck?
Past like trillion episodes, these are real things.
This
That's
is amazing.
That's so
Okay. All right, guys.
Now you're really realizing how
Oh.
desperate people are, and they need this mini dating website.
Ugh. I thought we were just getting coffee.
Hey, just don't go on someone Jewish or you'll get a lot of backlash because they got to cast a Jew first.
Yeah. Don't go on someone Jewish if you're not Jewish. You guys can find me at Houdini0333. You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, all those different little places. Hey, also, like Tank said, Dungeons and Dragons coming out. I'm excited for that. Tank's got some awesome art. Dragon Con, blah, 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 blah. And keep up to all our stuff by subscribing, like, comment, subscribe, hit the little bell on YouTube.
Yep.
And then subscribe and be sure that you check those settings on iTunes because else you'll end up with like a whole box of us. And I doubt you want a box of Brandon. So You can find us at The Nerds from Work on iTunes, YouTube, and on Facebook. You can find us at Nerds from Work, on Instagram and Twitter. Hey, guys, as always, peace.